Once again, it's a stream time. Good morning, one and all, wherever you are in the world, no matter how you are, who you are, or why you are. Be welcome here on the Everything GM broadcast with me, and welcome to another music analysis. This is what we'll be doing today. So make sure you have a drink, make sure you're making yourselves comfortable, and make sure that you're being kind to yourself. Have you given yourself a compliment today? If not, do so now. Give me your mental health out of 10, your physical health out of 10. I'd love to know how your day has been going. And remember, no matter how you're engaging with this content, if you are watching live and you're active in chat, if you're watching live and you're lurking in chat, if you are watching on the VOD in the future, doesn't matter. I'm just happy to have you here. Thanks for making me a part of your day, and thanks for letting us do something together. And what that thing is today is some music. We're gonna go into our music stream requests on the Discord, which you should join, and when we are and when we're done with that, then we'll say goodbye. Today I have what do I have today? I have an Ember submission. I have a me submission, which I might not do, and then I have an Alferg submission. Excuse me. I think it's gonna be that. Yeah. No, I think, you know what, I'm not gonna do this one. I won't do mine, cause it's alright. I want to listen to something new. So I think, I will do Ember, and then Alferg, and then there's a Baron one. So if we have time, I'll do all three of those. And then, my friends, then we move to the interesting stuff, because, the next music analysis that we go through will be, a Zombies 2 episode. We're going to do something from Zombies 2. That's what Somperton requested. And we'll do something from Epic the Musical, which is something that Taters requested. And more accurately, their children requested. So that's what we're going to do for the next music analysis. For this one, it should still be just as much fun. So join me now as I dive academically into what makes music so great. More specifically, what makes this music that we're about to listen to so great. And we shall see. We shall see how great it is. Hello, Alferg. Hello, A10. I'm scared if people generally weren't taught the Olympics, or just don't remember it because it wasn't something they cared about out of 10. What do you mean? Wait, I'm scared if people generally weren't taught that the Olympics... That the Olympics what? I don't understand. What about the Olympics? Just like not having them there? Because that would be... Oh, it started in Greece. That's an important little bit of context there. Aracheesy, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you have a drink in your hand. Are you feeling relaxed? If not, that's okay. Hopefully the stream can relax you. Welcome to Music Analysis, where we break apart music and figure out what makes it great based on my theory nerd brain, which has been doing music since I was 6 years old. Feeling a bit tired, but okayish. Excellent, excellent. Okayish is good. Okayish is good. All right, happy weekend, everyone. If you missed the last stream, if you missed the morning stream, we didn't have a morning stream because I was at a water park, and I have the slight... the burns are gone! I have slight sunburn to show for it, which is good. We went to, I mean, sunburn's not good, but it's good that I went outside for a while. We went to a place called Tungung, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live now. And in Tungung, every year for 2 weeks, they have a water festival with like water guns and like performers and paddle things and swimming pools and stuff. It's awesome. And it's an incredible way to beat the heat because we're in an incredible heat wave right now. With like, hang on, what's the... Let me show you, because I can do this live. Hang on. It's currently 10 o'clock in South Korea, and it is 28 degrees Celsius. Feels like 30, with an 85% humidity. That's what we're dealing with today. So aircon is a dream come true. And that's where I was today. Hopefully, I was hoping to not die of heat, but in fact the water helped because they used particularly cold water, which was quite nice. So yeah, there we go. And yeah, so if you missed the last stream, that means there wasn't one. There wasn't one at all. The stream before that was something very exciting. Fallout London is here, and my god, you should check the stats for that. Let me just, I'm so excited. Something that I was in, something that I'm a part of, is doing incredibly well. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it. Not because for me, but because of, like, it's just so good, you know? And I have so much joy about it. And I'm going to be playing much more of it on stream. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. But the one thing is the kind of the stats that the game is doing right now is crazy. Since release, on the day of release, it saw 100,000 players, which hasn't been seen since the beginning of since when Fallout 4 was released. Like, that's crazy. And now they're doing about 30,000 players every day. Every day. It's insane. Yeah, it's really, really crazy. So that is, so that's quite exciting. So you can expect much more Fallout 4. Excuse me, Fallout London. When we get to our next stream. I've just come out of the initial, like, stage of the game, like the first sequence of the game, and you can kind of just go and explore. And I kind of want to save that for stream, but at the same time, I want to play it. So I'm going to play it, like, right now. So I still don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Listen, man, I woke pretty early this morning. I already had my bowl and found mold in my container. Oh, that sucks. Which channel is music suggestion? So there is a role that you can select. If you want to be a part of the music category, you can select the music role, and then you can go back and then you can set music stream requests. If you don't have the role, just go into stream requests in the everyone category, and you can request something. I'm thinking of kind of condensing the stream community. I do like having different how do I put this? I do like having different categories for different interests. Like, that is quite a cool thing that I like about the server, but it sometimes doesn't help because some people, I don't know, some people don't have the tag, but they also love music and they don't really want the tag, and it's, yeah, it is, yeah. Oh well. Anyway, go get the role if you want to suggest stuff. Congrats, thank you. I appreciate that. And without further ado, Aracheesy, what kind of music to listen to? And yes, without further ado, if you were expecting any ados, you'll be sorely disappointed, because we are diving headfirst into our first music analysis. Now, I was going to start with Ember, but Ember is not here, and I prefer for the person who suggested it to be here while I'm doing their suggestion. So instead, I'm going to start with Alferg, who posted Anime Intro by Public Theater. And I don't know, like, I don't know what kind of anime intro it is. Is Public Theater the name of the anime? I'm not an anime, like, I'm not a giant anime person, so that could help. I would appreciate an explanation before we dive in. But that's what it looks like. Oh, my music taste is all over the place? Same. Same. What do you listen to right now, then? Like, what's kind of your vibe right now? It's not an actual anime intro? Oh, okay. Is it someone's idea of a generic anime intro? Because that's a Tarask. Like, that's just straight up a Tarask from Dungeons & Dragons. Also, there's a cast here, so is this the band name? Or it's a normal song that for reasons is called anime? Oh, Public Theater is the artist. Okay, cool. So this is Anime Intro by Public Theater. I don't know anything about it, but we are going to we're going to listen to it together and figure out what makes it cool using my brain. So let's do that. This is a pretty normal length song. Here we go. Anime Intro by Public Theater.
Don't fuck with me! I
Yes! Iconic. Right. So why that's effective is when you really look into the tone quality of the original vocalists. Like, just listen quickly. Oh, it's like, it's amazing. And wait for the scream. That's just that scream, the perfect cutoff leading into the original guitar. We are off to a flying start. The musical skill is unmatched. Just God and anime. Don't we all have God and anime on our side? There's nothing more I can extract from these couple seconds of memery. So I'm just going to leave it there, and then we're going to move on. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you. That is a kaiju. Oh, no, it's a Tarrasque. It's definitely a Tarrasque. I recently got a hyperfixation on Guilty Gear. So last week, my playlist was just soundtracks from it. I don't know what that is. You're going to have to help me out there. Anyway, now that we're fully in, let's give this a real listen.
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Isolated guitar. Very good. Drums coming in soon.
Let's go!
Hell yeah! Oh, this is slapping really hard. Okay, all right. I'm gonna try and listen to it as thoroughly as I can without getting clapped for copyright. I'm gonna look very quickly at the studio thing, and we're gonna keep listening. All right, so here we go. Let's go from here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 4.
Let's go!
I was a little early, but it's okay. Woo! I'm gonna actually write down what I can think of.
Couldn't help but notice your under eyes. You were looking pretty skinny last night. Are you even
Great punk voice. Where are you?
I couldn't help but notice your
Oh, double octaves.
saying that you'll be just fine. Are you even trying?
Technically unison, but an octave apart.
For now, you know that I won't let you
Woo!
down before the fall. You know
Nice chorus.
I won't let you run before you crawl. You know that I won't let you down before the fall. You know that I won't let you run before you crawl.
Woo!
I couldn't help
Lovely
myself,
little break
I
here
had to
into the second verse.
I don't understand why I love you. I
Repeat
guess
of-
I'm still lying.
Repeat of the first verse, but more isolated.
I shouldn't stop myself from
Fewer
starting
elements.
all new. I can keep running
Now we have some guitar playing percussion, basically playing the role of percussion.
evermore now. You know that I won't let you down before the fall.
Woo! This fast drum beat is really getting your heart racing.
You know that I won't let you down before the fall. You know that I won't let you run before you crawl.
Oh, lovely little break again. No cymbals, just toms, which is a very classic drum routine of breaking things down. Hear that? It's a classic break in the action, and it prepares us for what is coming. Watch, listen to the break, continue to develop. Embellishments. Woo! Oh, that false drop. Amazing. Extra bar.
Let you run before you crawl. You know that I won't let you down before the fall. You know that I won't let you run before you crawl.
Oh.
Goddamn.
Oh, how does it end?
Sweet. Goddamn.
I love it when the artist has just finished it, and before they can cut off the rest of the song, it's just like, that was good. And you've fucked it. Like, you've ruined the whole thing. But actually you haven't, because it sounds quirky and nice now. That was quite incredible. And I love the fact that we can listen to it all in one without any kind of copyright shenanigans trying to clap us. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Elferg, for giving us what an incredible gem of a song. I've got five. I've got 5 things to talk about. All right. First is kind of the entire, let's start very quickly as to why this is so incredibly satisfying. This. That. I'll tell you why it's so satisfying. Thanks for your question. We're going to go to my virtual piano, and I'm going to show you why it's so satisfying. So we've got... hang on. Okay, so we've got this. We got these chords, right? And it goes like this. I don't know how to play on a keyboard, on a computer keyboard. So it goes S to P? Huh? Oh, IP. It's there. There we go. Okay, so it's going in, it's moving in thirds. This is a third. It's called a third. This is number 1. This is number 3. And the reason we call it a third is because in the chord D, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Chord, this is a third interval. An interval with a third, because it's steps of, 1 and 3. Cool. Now, instead of just doing that, we go down, and we let that happen down there. So we have that. This is called a compound third interval. Why is it compound? Because that is the octave. All of the notes that exist between those two. There. All the notes between those two, they will just repeat again. So this is a D, and then this is a D again. So everything above that, those are 2 E's, and those are 2 F sharps. So because that's when the note names start again, technically they start from A, if you then go up, if you go there, that is now called a compound third. So we are doing compound third intervals, and I'm going to show you how it sounds. Cool. Cool. Now this is devilishly difficult on a computer keyboard. I would very easily be able to show you on the piano behind me, but it takes too much effort. So the chords move together. The chords move together. When you hear these compound thirds, they are the reason they move so nicely together is because they are thirds, which is one of the closest nice sounding intervals you can play. But when you make it so far apart, it sounds so much more isolated, and it's just brain scratchy. It is. It's something about that compound third. Anyway, so when this happens,
Let's go.
cool, and then it goes in. Right. So that's the first thing. All right. I'm saving the best for last. The second thing is, second, third, and fourth are just like little touches in the piece that I'd like to focus on for now. The first one is just the punk voice, which is incredible. I mean, hang on. I mean, just come on. Woo. It's so good. Why? How do we define punk voice? A lot of the time, it is the accent. It's that Blink-182, where are you? Like that kind of, it's that kind of voice, right? But not quite. There's a little more nuance to it. A lot of punk, there's quite a big parallel between, there's an overlap, between a punk voice and a musical voice. And when I say musical, I don't mean someone who has musicality. I mean someone who is good at singing musicals, as in musical numbers. Musicals are very lyric heavy. And a punk voice is no different. It focuses a lot more on the vocals, but it is very raw and emotional. And you can feel that you are shouting the words, but there's still technique behind it. So there's no strain on your vocal cords. And I love that. Very, very, very cool. So this is a nice punk voice, excuse me. It's raw, it's not perfect, and that's what makes a good punk voice. The fact that it's lacking that perfection, and yet it's still. When I say perfection, I'm not meaning it as a positive thing or a negative thing. It's just like it's not flawless. The flaws are what make a punk voice incredibly good. All right, so the punk voice is good. That's the second thing. The third thing is exactly what just happened in the piece, which is the second thing is what just happened. Hang on. Here we go. Cool. An octave. That's an octave up. Those two things, they're the same notes. The note names are the same, but they are singing an octave apart. So there's no harmony. It's not technically a harmony. It's a form of unison, but they're just an octave apart, which creates quite open tones for us to connect to, and it makes everything feel a lot more exposed, but it also rounds out the original vocalist and just adds that extra element of spice to it. So those double octaves are really nice. And finally, there's one thing right at the end, which is just something for me. I am an incredible fan of this type of this little what I call an embellishment, but I know there's another name for it, and it's called a false bar or an added bar, where you take a measure and you just have a whole measure of pause that just kind of doesn't fit in with your with your standard set rhythm for the rest of the piece. It doesn't quite fit in with that, and it's for a reason, because it's meant to be kind of the, if you imagine a roller coaster, the roller coaster like starts, one of those high roller coasters, starts by slowly pulling you up. This is a roller coaster. Let me show you. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is the roller coaster. This is why a false bar is so good. It's going up and up and up. And you can feel it. You can look around, you can see all the trees below you, all the people looking like ants. You're very high up. And you're like, what's happening? We're getting closer and closer to the top. And it's still just building. And then it goes down. That bar is exactly what I'm talking about. That's a false bar. So what happens here musically? Listen to the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So it's an odd number of bars. Listen. 1, 2. It's 3 bars. Now, usually when we're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, we're looking at multiples of 4. That third bar is the false bar. That's the extra bar. And adding that little extra thing is it's like that moment just before the roller coaster drops where you feel your stomach lurch, and then we go into the final chorus. And that, musically, as a brain tickler, that really is good. All right, and that's why it's good. Because that's what it feels like to our brain. Okay, and that's it, except for one more thing. One more thing that I'd like to share with you today. I'm going to go back to the virtual piano quickly. Okay, let's go to the verse quickly.
Couldn't help but notice your under eyes. You were looking pretty skinny last night. Are you even fighting? I couldn't help but notice your little eyes. You can say that you'll be just fine. Are you even trying anymore now? You know that I won't let you down before the fall.
Okay, now the chorus is the most important part, right? Here's our key is B. Technically B minor is our key, all right? But the chorus sounds like this. These 5 keys between the first and the fifth, those are the only notes he sings. And yet, it still sounds awesome. That is, he's moving within 5 notes. 5 notes, that's it. And it still sounds great. The lesson in that is that it's okay to keep it simple. In music, sometimes less is more. Listen, all he's doing is... It's the same thing, but because he gives that raw emotion, you've got the drums keeping that pulse in the background. You've got the guitars still doing that da 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 da. That's still going in your background. So that's like the heartbeat of the piece as well, and so you can keep it simple. You don't have to have it super complicated, and that is what is so good about it, because it just has it just has this incredible simplicity to it. And that is the kind of shit that I like. What an incredible song. Uter Spash? Please tell me how to pronounce that. Space. Uter. I think Uter is a safe bet. Welcome to the stream. It's so nice to have you here. We're talking about music and why it's awesome. Have a drink in your hand and get ready for some more. I think I want to just jam out to this last bit just once more for fun. Once more with feeling. Here we go. One, two, oh, interesting. He's got groups of 3 bars at a time. 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, and.
You know that I won't let you down before the fall. You know that I
Very good.
won't let you run before you crawl. You know that I won't let you down before the fall. You know that I won't let you run before you crawl.
Ah, very nice. Very, very nice. And that's it. That is Anime Intro by Public Theater. Thank you, Alfred, for your request. Excellent. Lovely little track to do. I really appreciate keeping it simple, and we love to see it. That is track 1 of today's stream. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go ahead and do... Now, interestingly, Baron is not here. And I don't know if I want to do it without him because he gave me like... Yeah, like I said, I like to do... Oh, it's Baron. Oh, cool, you are here. I can do your request. Cool. Sorry, you changed your name. Okay. All right, so cool, you are here. Excellent. We're going to be listening to Baron's submission, which is called The Ocean by Richard Hawley. I have a feeling I'm going to like this. This feels like it's going to be really, really good. So this is The Ocean by Richard Hawley. Teen me would have listened to this song so much. Oh, dude, I'm with you there. Now me will listen to this as well, probably. But yeah, definitely this is definitely like teenage punk, and I'm all here for it. Jesus, MJ, read the chat. I am reading the chat. I said, as soon as I realized, I said, hey, Alf, and then after hey, Alf, then my chat didn't give me any new messages until I saw lol, it's me, Last Survivor, and then I was like, okay, well, there you go. Well, I'm reading the chat. Regarding Guilty Gear, I put a couple of songs from it into the channel. Oh, cool, I saw that. I did see that. So, yeah, I think after Baron's submission, then we'll do yours. I think that'll be good. I'll have to update my name on Discord. I mean, I call you Baron anyway, so... but yes, I think Uter would probably be... Yeah, that'd probably be good on Discord. All right. The next thing we're doing... the next thing we're going to listen to today is... Give me a second. Yes, the next thing we're doing is The Ocean by Richard Hawley. I always get excited when I listen to your submissions. I love to listen to like all the kind of music that you guys are into. So here we go. Ooh. Seventh chords. Seventh chords.
Lead me down
Ooh-hoo-hoo.
to the ocean.
Musical singing. Back to what we did before.
Lead me down by the ocean. You know it's been a long time. You
Soft.
always leave me tongue-tied.
These deeper voices that don't go past this is
And all this time is for us.
awesome.
I love you just because
Listen to those background things.
you lead me down
They're playing clashes. They're playing two notes next to each other.
to the ocean. The world is fine.
Lovely.
By the ocean.
Okay, listen to how he says ocean. We're going to talk about that in a second.
You know this time's for real. It helps the heart to heal.
Highest note he's done so
You
far.
know it breaks the seal
And
of
it
the
sounds
tide
so
in the
good.
dawn. And so you look at me and need the space that means as much to me.
I love that the post-processing matches the tone.
So lead me down
The sound editing is great.
to the ocean.
It's putting the vocalist and the instruments with the same like
Our
reverb,
world is fine.
so it makes it feel like they have that same echo, like they're in the same room.
By the ocean.
The ocean.
You know what way it is in life. It's so hard to live up to.
This is beautiful.
So why are you still dressed in your morning suit? I assume you lead me down
Yo! Go off, King!
to the ocean.
Oh! Jumps up the octave. Incredible.
Lead me down
Oh, can you hear his passion in this? Wow.
by the ocean. The ocean.
And the strings open up as well. Oh, shit, we get more instruments. It's like the song opens up. Remember, it's called The Ocean. So there's this constant, I'm going to tell you more about it later, but this constant pull and release, just like a real ocean. And this is the wave crashing. Oh, so good.
Here comes the wave.
Woo! What a lovely note to come in on.
Here comes the wave.
Oh!
Here comes the wave.
Here comes the rain.
Down by the ocean.
Wow.
The ocean. The ocean.
Oh my god. Now he's repeating, just like at the ebb and flow of an ocean. Wow. Wow. Woo. Counter melody in the guitar. That's a counter melody. So the vocalist is going the ocean, and then the guitar is da, 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 da. That together, one at a time, kind of taking the spotlight and passing it along in this very calm, and the transition is calm thanks to the instruments that are like in that transition. Listen, the slow drum, the open hi-hats, the lazy cymbals, all that kind of stuff here. Every instrument is just kind of like pulling and releasing and pulling and releasing. There's that constant back and forth feeling in this whole song, just like the ebb and flow of waves. Oh, I thought he said "Here Comes the Rain" as well, but is it "Here Comes the Wave"? Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! By the way, if you are oh, wait. No, the train left the station. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Baron, I love your music taste. So far, all the songs that you've given in the Discord to listen to are bangers. I'm a big fan. This song is so soulful. It has so much heart in it. So what have we talk about, and Arachizi, you're completely correct. These sort of moments of escalation within calm songs is just this catharsis. And why do we like it so much? Because it wouldn't hit as hard if there wasn't a good build-up to it. I'll tell you, there are so many elements that make this climax so good. Here we go. Hang on.
So why
Here we go. Okay. So many things happen to make this feel good. I'll start. Okay, two things. At the same time, the voice is starting at the bottom and comes up. And then what happens to the instruments? The violins, the strings come from the bottom, from the top and come down. So you have this meeting in the middle and it's higher than it was before. The vocalist having to give more energy because he is going higher, and the strings coming down to meet him, almost carrying him away on this wave. So he starts here. He kind of sings around there. And at the same time, that constant, that counter melody starts here. Those are just two ways that your brain thinks, oh, this is good. The other way is that obviously he's singing higher, but when you go into "To the Ocean," that moment is an octave higher than he's usually singing. The first half of the song is "By the ocean," and he's singing up here or down here, and it's more like a bass baritone kind of thing. And then he goes up here, da 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 da, and then that octave difference is very satisfying for our brains. It requires more energy for a vocalist, and it requires more stability there. And it's just, it's this outpouring of emotion, because naturally when we speak, sometimes when we speak louder, our voice goes higher. And so there's that natural want to give more emotion to that. So those are just some of the ways that this really, really, really works. It's awesome. Really, really good. So I'll tell you basically what happens. Other than jumping up the octave, you'll notice we get, when he goes up and does that, so that moment, the instruments open up. The strings come in, there's a guitar, the entire instrumental section just opens and becomes so much more liberated. You can feel while you're doing this, right? Listen just listen.
Breaks the seal
There's
of
this-
the talisman that haunts.
There's this muted kind of,
So you look at me in need.
there's this muted feeling, right? Just
The
this.
space that means as much to me.
It's like you're holding back, but you're comfortable. All right, and then we skip ahead a little bit. The drums are still just lazy. It's like the lazy river, right?
So why are you still dressed in your
Oh,
morning
so good.
suit?
And then-
I assume
You can feel that, like I said, it's holding back, but it's okay. And then, oh, that top chord. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Those two notes up there, that represents our openness. Those long, soaring strings in the top.
by the ocean.
Ah. And then, this is where it really breaks. Woo-hoo! Wow. Wow. And so you hear that the instrumental section just releases all of that tension that you didn't realize that you'd been holding in for that whole time. Oh, just an incredible moment there. Absolutely incredible. The song really puts you on the edge of a cliff on a shore during a windy evening. It really does, doesn't it? It's great. And you know what it is? Have you know the Little Mermaid scene where she's singing like Part of Your World, and she gets up to the rock and the sea sprays against the rock and like just sort of does that vertical line, right? If you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you see that first spray hit the rock, that's what happens during that climax when everything opens up and releases. It's that first big wave against a rock that just crashes and comes, oh, it's lovely. Lovely, lovely. So the vocalist jumps up an octave, the instruments open up, and man, just an incredible, incredible release there. All right, I'm gonna talk about some other things that I loved here. Firstly, remember, this whole piece is called The Ocean, and the instruments play the part of the ocean. But the singer, is connecting with the ocean as well here. So the way that the vocalist is singing is complementing the waves that we are hearing. In the beginning, you have this.
To the ocean.
Does that not just give you this vibe?
The world.
It's literally going up and down on notes. It's this constant floating. It's like a little piece of seaweed floating on the shoreline. That constant ebb and flow that never wavers, that is what makes the ocean so mesmerizing. When you look at the ocean, you can't help but feel like super philosophical and deep about the scale of the universe and etc. Because, well, at least that's for me, because it has that rhythmic, endless quality that even at the end of your concept of time, it will still be doing that. And that's what's so wonderful about it. It's that it's a constant. It's this anchor in nature, the ocean. And the instruments are reflecting that with their constant literal up and down, representing the literal up and down of waves, little tiny ones.
It's fine.
And what's interesting here, especially, listen carefully to those small waves.
And all this time's for us. I love you just because you leave me.
Ah, there's a small delay. There are two voices playing. There's da 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 da, and there's something else. Ba da da ba da da. So da 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 da. Imagine it. I'm gonna do this. Da 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 da. It's almost like the wave is pushing smaller waves out to shore and coming back again. Coming back, pushing out and coming back in. So the first note on the first accordion, I'm going to call it an accordion because I can't tell what instrument it is. There's a second accordion that's playing that lower harmony. The first accordion comes in with one note. Da, and then it plays 4 notes in a thing. Da, 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 da. Those are your 4 notes. Da, 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 da. The second accordion only plays 3 notes. Da, 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 da. It is the accompaniment to the first one. Da, 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 da. And it kind of adds this background warmth to it. And I just wanted to mention that. It's amazing. Really, really nice composition as well. The sound editing, I did mention this already, but basically it's the sound editing itself is just phenomenal. It's creating this incredible blend between all the elements here and making them feel like they're part of the same body, which is just great. The voice is distinct from everything else, but it still has this vocal, this sort of reverb quality, this enchanting quality to it. So yeah, it is amazing. My chat's got taken away. Oh no! Sorry, Baron. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. Sometimes YouTube just swallows comments. So that's the beginning part of the song, and then this big crash happens. Down, down by the ocean to the ocean. Incredible. And that is a wave crashing. So once again, we see that this is representing the ocean, where we start with these sort of small, gentle ebb and flows, a little choppiness, and then this big wave crashes, and then it crashes again. Every time the guitar goes, da 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 da, I want you to imagine another wave coming over. Da 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 da. Hang on. Here we go. The crash of the cymbal literally representing the crash of the wave, the spray of the white. Oh, I heard wave that time. Okay, I got it. Oh, it's incredible, incredible. So once again, moving with that metaphor of the ocean. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to something right at the beginning. Actually, no, it's more like this entire... It's easier to hear at the beginning, but it's more like it happens over the entire piece. And that is called 7th chords. I'm going to explain what those are in a second. That's a 7th chord.
You lead me down to the ocean.
These are 7th chords. What are 7th chords? Da, 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 da. Hang on.
So
Oh, so close. Okay. So we're here. Okay. And basically, the entire piece is just 2 chords. Are you ready? It's chord. That's the first chord we hear. You lead me down to the ocean. Okay. So uneven. Okay, so you can hear those are the 2 chords that we have. Only 2. Only 2. And that's all we need, because again, just like the ocean doesn't need more than its simplicity. It just needs these 2 chords. Once again, keep it simple. Keep it simple. So keeping it simple, we just have these 2 chords, and it's beautiful. We made a 5-minute song just with these 2 chords, just because we played around with them. That's what it is. That's what music is. That's why music is so wonderful, because you can do so much with so little. We have 2 chords here. And these aren't even the proper chords because I'm trying to teach you 7th chords. This is a 7th chord. Watch. That is a so hang on a second. So this is A major. This is the key that we're in. The key is A. We're in the key of A. And this is A major. And this is B flat minor. B flat minor is chord 2 of A major. A major is chord 1. So we're literally going chord 2 to chord 1. Chord 2 to chord 1. But we're not going chord 2 to chord 1. We're going chord 2, 7 to chord 1. What is chord 2, 7? I will play a chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5 makes up that chord. How do I know it's 1, 3, 5? I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. We count notes like that. That's how we count notes. Why don't we count this note? Because it's not in our key. We're staying in the key of A. So we don't count that note. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why don't we count this note? It's also not in the key of A. So these 2 notes are not in A. So we start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. That's a chord. Let's make a 7th chord. If this is note 1, this is note 3, and this is note 5, where is note 7? I'll give you a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. That is a 7th chord. And it evolves a chord from being a basic chord, which can be fun in its own right, to a beautiful, jazzy, smooth, soulful 7th chord. I love 7th chords. And we can just move all these down. You leave me down to the ocean. And then we go to Y9PX. 1, 3, 5, 7. Oh, sorry. 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 7. That's the 7th chord for A major. So we start with this. U, O, S, C. You lead me down to the Y9P D ocean. Oh! Listen to that. So that's the basic chord. Nothing wrong with that. But if you add that little bad boy up there, it just evolves it. It just kind of, it's just so good. Woo! It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, we go from there. Those are 7th chords. Okay. So, and this song just kind of moves in 7th chords. That's what it does. It's awesome. Very, very, very good.
So lead me down.
The next thing I want to talk about is shouting out to a bass voice, because my goodness, we are in for a treat with this song. A good, warm-toned bass singer, baritone singer, is to die for. And I'm a little bit biased because that's my voice group, but still, it's still good. You can't deny it. I love listening to a good bass. It is just, and I'll tell you what really, some of the qualities that really make a good bass singer is that they've got, like I said, they've got that warm, like honey tone. It must sound like pouring honey. And it must be, especially in a song like this, there must be da 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 da. It's got a lot of air in it, but it's not breathy. It's not da 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 da. It's da 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 da. You can hear the air in the voice, but it's not too raspy, it's not too breathy. It's just, it's crystal. So shout out to a bass voice. And the last thing I want to say is that once again, we find ourselves dealing with a musical singer. A singer that understands Not just musicality, but remember, someone who sings musical numbers. Someone whose focus is more on the voice, on the lyrics, than on vocal flawlessness. You don't need to be flawless when you sing. Emotion is enough most of the time. Listen to him.
You know it's been a long time.
Do you think he's hitting those notes perfectly? It doesn't matter. Because he's got so much soul in his heart, you know? Wait for it again.
You always leave me tongue-tied.
The constant scooping, vocal scooping. That kind of, it creates this, it creates almost like a vocal quality, like you're speaking, a verbal quality to his voice. The scooping, the not kind of fully hitting the note and then you kind of trail off, you go flat a little bit. It's purposeful because that's the style of singing that he's going for here. That's the style of singer he is. And it is amazing. Don't get me wrong. It is amazing. With that said, and he says, Hoshin. Oh my God. Baron and I shared the same brain cell for a second because listen to the way he says ocean, because part of his scoop is understanding the musical quality of this style, and singing like a musical means your lyrics must slightly change to reflect your emotion. The inflection of your lyrics, the articulation and the pronunciation changes slightly. This is good vocal technique, letting the lyrics also tell the story, like musically as well. Listen.
All this time is for us.
Wait. By the ocean.
I love you, just you lead
Hang on, here we go.
to the ocean.
To the ocean. To the ocean. And it's gold. That is musical gold. And yet another banger from Baron. Thank you. Baron, is it okay if I still call you Baron? Or would you like me to call you Uter? Is that okay? What would you prefer? What name is best for you? Either way, that was amazing. So thank you. I really appreciate that suggestion. Just an awesome way to get through to that soulful seventh chord stuff. Once again, learning about musical styles of singing, and once again, learning about how less is more. Keeping it simple is good. Anything you like? I like all the names. Okay, cool. Excellent. Right. And I believe we're coming almost to the end of our round of music analysis for today. Quite a short stream, but that's okay. I'm happy with short streams. It means I get to go to bed earlier. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. I think I'm gonna go now and do Aracheesy. So let's do your request. That was such an awesome song. Goes straight into my regular playlist, dude. I'm gonna favorite this shit as well. Hang on. We're gonna go find this, the ocean, and the anime intro because that was good as well. The Ocean by Richard Hawley. There we go. Is this it?
Ocean.
Oh, incredible. All right, I found it on Spotify. And then the other one is anime intro by Public Theater. There we go. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm adding both of those because your request is just too damn good. Of course, this does put a little bit of pressure on Aracheesy for her request to be good as well. This better be good enough to add to my Spotify. I'm just saying. All right, so first hits closer for me for personal reasons, but I think the second might be a bit more fun to analyze. Both are great, so feel free to pick whichever one seems more interesting. Okay, so we've got The Town Inside Me, and then we have Drift. I think I Drift Tonight, Carried by the Waves. Ooh. Man, I mean, looks great. I like the cover art as well. Let's try the second one. Let's go with, oh, okay. All right, now this one does have video attached to it. Is this copyrighted at all? Do you know Do you know? Oh, it's got lyrics in the thing as well. That's awesome. Do you know if this is going to be copyrighted at all? Do you know if I can listen to this all the way through without being clapped? Because if I do get clapped, then I listen to it like 5 seconds at a time, and then we analyze that part of it. It's a little bit irritating, but it's the best we can do with music analysis for copyright music. The YouTube copyright bot is it doesn't understand what fair use is, so it just kind of goes, no, that thing we invented that lets you do this thing, you can't do that thing now. I'm pretty sure not, because it's video from the game, but I don't know. Oh, if it's from a game, that's great then. That's fine. My YouTube Discord browser, everything broken. No! Oh no! Quickly fix it. It's a video game, so maybe only the video will be copyright. No, I don't think, if it's a video from the video game, then we'll be fine. We should be okay. All right, everyone, then this is Drift from, it's the Happy Chaos theme from Guilty Gear Strive. I don't know what kind of game this is. I'm assuming anime-esque based on the art style of the video that we're about to watch, and we're gonna see what this is all about. I have no context for this, so we're just gonna go in blind and see what we can hear. Here we go. I love me some complex piano, man. Ooh!
Years to find the answer something.
Wow.
I forgot
More seventh chords.
That's about it.
That's about it. Incredible. That is so good. Loving the animation, by the way. Oh, it's a fight game. Ah, okay. Oh, we're getting into the heavy stuff. Very nice. I'm such a fan of mixing metal and piano. Oh, good vocal techniques, becoming more like a musical instrument than like a voice. Oh, lovely. This is giving me like hardcore Queen vibes. Like this is very similar to how Queen would play music. It's got that. Oh. Oh my god, tempo change. Time signature change. Woo! The double kick drum! Wow! Double unison voices as well? Clock it, clock it. Let your brain notice these things. Same notes, just an octave apart. Now 3 times, 3 octaves apart. Wow.
It took me 10 years to find the answer something.
Another tempo change. Something more swing, jazzy. But now, we've almost combined theme 1 and theme 2 into like a metal jazz combo. We've gone back to the jazz now. So it's jazz and metal, and it kind of plays with how it can mix and match them together. Amazing. Moving straight back into the metal. You need to be very skilled as a musician to be able to pull this kind of stuff off. I'm impressed with the drummer as well. It looks like a fun game, too. Nice. I love the way they changed that tempo. Oh, okay, good, very good. Okay. Great musicianship. I'll tell you why in a second. It's a tempo change.
Can you hear it? The
Oh.
pulses of the living.
Oh my god, ballad section.
Rhythm is a grand orchestra. It's never the same tone. Who wants to stop this? There can be when the violence tone is
Wow.
over. Blue sky is more beautiful than ever. You see, I want that. I want that. That's all I want. I drive tonight the wind. I'll just be a broadcast.
Counter melodies.
Don't stop the flow. I drift tonight with wandering dreams.
Now we're combining ballad and metal. Dude, this shit is tight. Oh. Oh my god, and one final note, just in case you didn't realize that we still did jazz as well. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. Okay, so there was something that I was going to talk about, and I want to bring this up as one of my favorite parts about this. I noticed it right in the middle of the song. And I want you to realize one of my mottos here is really true here. What I try to do, right, is I try to track down all the things that you don't notice, but your brain notices. When we analyze music, one of the best skills you can learn is learning how to open that part of the brain that notices things and doesn't tell you about them. When you listen to music, if you're listening with an attentive mind, you can access that part of your brain and you notice so much more. It's a perception increaser. It's really a good skill to learn because you can then apply this. Listening attentively to music is something that is going to help you listen attentively in life, to people when they talk to you, to sounds that you hear in the world that alert you to things that you need to be alerted to. This attentive listening skill is so good to practice with music. So that's what I try and do with this. I try and find things that you wouldn't notice normally, but your brain does. And when we access that part of the brain, we unlock a better skill. And one of these things is here. Listen to the tempo change. Okay. There we go, here we go, okay. Okay, what am I doing? I'm hitting my finger on the pulse of the beat again and again and again and again, and the rhythm doesn't change. So this is what I like to call a tempo change, but it's still headbangable. You can still do this and the rhythm doesn't change. You can still have that pulse. Even though the time signature changes, the way the beats and groups are organized in the music completely changes. It's still headbangable. You can still do this constantly. There are a couple of moments where it does change and you have to kind of reset your headbang, but this was one of those moments where I was like, damn, that's cool. And it is such a lovely music technique. You've got to be really, 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 really good at music to try and play something like this. So that really stuck out to me. That was really, really, really nice. The other one, the other sort of main theme that I want to get away from this is that we have jazz, we have jazz, we have metal, and then we have ballad. And that makes 3 distinct sections in this. So we have jazz first, just very chilled, jazz first. Then, full-on metal. Then jazz and metal. So we have jazz metal together. Then you think that's all they've got. They go straight into metal again for a repeat of the metal section. And then you're like, oh, what else have we got? Wait a minute. We've got ballads too. And then it's like, what do you mean? And then it does this. And then it does ballad and metal. So it goes jazz, metal, metal, ballad, metal ballad. Those are the 6 sections. They've got group A, type sort of genre 1, genre 2, and then combine them. And then genre 2 and genre 3, and then combine those. It's amazing. The way that it progresses through the song is so cool. Really, really nice. So I like that mix of themes. So we start with jazz, piano, then we move over to the metal, and then we combine them. And then, of course, we move to the ballad section, and then we combine those. Incredible, incredible. Another little detail that I wanted to notice, I wanted to bring your attention to as well, was I found a place here where they went wow, wow, wow with the voice. Right in the beginning. Now, they are saying right, but they're going... That is what happens when a voice imitates an instrument. It's also a lovely technique that you can use to... just to kind of add spice and flavor. And let your voice mimic instruments. There are very cool vocal techniques called like scat singing, where you go babbity boop boop doobity doobity boop, and that kind of helps imitate an instrument as well, because it's not technically like you're not singing lyrics or anything. You're not going It's great. It's more percussive, and this kind of wow wow wow, that kind of is meant to imitate an electric guitar, and it is a perfectly valid technique for singing as well. So yeah, those were some incredible things that I noticed there. And the main themes are present as well. I loved pulling that apart. That was so cool. I really implore everyone, once we're done with these kinds of analyses, I really, really encourage you to go and do this for yourself and go listen to it and see what you can pick out. Because this is just what I can pick out from one listen. But you can listen to it again and again and again, and you can pick out, like, different things, you know? So, yeah, yeah. I think, now your homework, I suppose, at the end of this lesson for music is to go and see if you can find it yourself in the other stuff see if you can find other stuff that I didn't find that we can talk about together, and then post that in music chat. I'd love to talk about that. There's one last thing I want to talk about with this song. The singers are not, and it's less of a wow, this is amazing, and more of a point that I want to bring your attention to, something that you can notice for next time, because we're increasing musical perception here, and that is the vocalists are not English first speaking, are they? I'm assuming this is like maybe Japanese, just by the things I'm seeing on screen, because it looks very anime-ish. But I'm assuming, I don't think that the vocalists are English first speaking. And there are 2 ways, besides the obvious way, which is the third way. There are 2 ways that you can tell this, and it makes writing in a language, it's something that I want to bring your attention to, not for English supremacy reasons, but it's important to understand when you are writing for a language that isn't your first. There are some challenges and pitfalls that you fall into that fluent speakers will be able to, they can pick that out. And the obvious one is the accent. Like, I could hear an accent. So that's not what I'm here to talk about. The accent is not something you can always control. There are two musical things that I want to talk about, and that is it's lyrics, lyrics that wouldn't like grammatically flow in a piece, and syllables, syllabic construction. I'm gonna explain. Let me show you. So the first one, by the way, this is not a bad thing. I'm not insulting these people. I'm just describing it. So this is also important to talk about. So yeah, which way should we go? We'll do the lyrics first. 100 mouths speak of me. The truth is not always real. I don't want any conclusions. This kind of stuff, you could find this in poetry. Like 100 mouths speak of me is like a pretty natural poetic way of speaking in English. But this is not something that I would hear from a fluent speaker. And this may be in a poem, I guess. But the way that it comes in, like when the violent storm is over, there can't be, the blue sky is more beautiful. There are like sometimes sentences finish before they're supposed to, and you can kind of feel that in the vocab. Right. So that's number one. Number two is something that I think is fascinating, and it's language. Remember, none of this is coming from a position of English supremacy. It's just a love of languages and how languages fit together. Listen very closely to any line, just any line. Here we go.
Spirit, the pulses of the living, the ironic rhythm is a grand orchestra. It's never the same tone.
Okay. All right. So listen to that line. Remember, when you write music, when you write lyrics to music, the language that you are writing in has a specific way of hitting notes that sounds good and a way that sounds less good. Now, that doesn't mean that it's bad. Again, I'm saying it's ways that where it more naturally fits in, that a fluent speaker of the language would immediately know to put there, and people who have less experience with that language, they would not know where that word goes. And you're right, there were some H's. That's just more of an accent thing. What I'm really getting at is the syllables. Where do the syllables come in?
Of the living, the ironic rhythm is
It's a grand orchestra. The erratic rhythm. It's a grand orchestra. Is a grand orchestra. When we speak, do we say orchestra? No, we say orchestra. So you want the beat of the song to be on the emphasis of the syllable, on the syllable that is emphasized in the word. So you want, you want orchestra, not orchestra. And again, we hear it here.
orchestra is never the same tone.
It's never the same tone. It's never the same tone. It's never the same tone, and it's never the same tone. It doesn't flow in the way that a fluent speaker would speak it. And that is what makes us clock into that in a way that maybe you can't quite notice until you've accessed that part of your brain that noticed that for you. We'll try it again. I want to see if I can maybe illustrate a way that it could be corrected. Hold on.
It's never the same tone.
It's never the same tone. See, even that's better. Instead of it's never the same tone, you could go it's never. In fact, I would add the word quite in the middle. So instead of it's never the same tone, we would go it's never quite the same tone. Da, 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 da. So there's such an interesting difference there between those two words. Between those two phrases, I added a word and I changed the way that the syllable emphasis works, and it changes the whole vibe of the lyrical line. That comes from fluency in a language. Very interesting. I'm going to try and find another area. Yeah, you would never say this on the... You never say... The last word of a sentence does not come at the beginning of the musical line. Listen.
With the same tone, who wants to stop this?
Who wants to stop this? Who wants to stop this? It just doesn't... Yeah. You know what I mean? Again, there's nothing wrong with the way the music is done. They can do it however they want. It's just a really lovely... It's a really interesting way of noticing how cool language is and how different it can sound based on how much exposure you have with it. So I want to... Yeah, maybe here. Yeah. Look, listen. Here we go.
When the violence storm is over, blue sky is more beautiful than ever.
Beautiful than ever. Ever? Let's try again.
Blue sky.
The blue sky is more beautiful than ever. Like something like that, right? I have to think about it more, but not this. You see what I mean? It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. That is another thing that I wanted to mention there. Not to end on a point of not criticism, more critique. Not to end on a point of like slightly less amazing critique. We'll go here. This moment where it went from jazz to metal.
Answer something I forgot about it in 2 seconds. That's about it.
That switch up to metal is so smooth and so good. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. That was very, very interesting. Thank you, Aracheesy. I appreciated that. What a banger of a song. And if you want to go listen to that and you if you want to give that a listen, maybe pick up something that I didn't and pick up on an element that I didn't, and we can talk about that, then that is what we are here for as well. As far as I know, I will react to this because that's done. I'll react to this because that's done. We've done an Alferg one, we've done a Baron one, and now we've done an Aracheesy one. Very good. When we come back to music analysis, when Somberton and Taters are here, we'll be doing stuff from Zombies 2, and we'll be doing stuff from the Epic musical, which is going to be awesome. I'm very, very excited for that. But I think this will... Oh god, that's anime intro. I think this will kind of we'll wind down a little bit. I don't know if I have it takes a lot of brain power for me to give musical analysis like this for 3 different pieces, and we've essentially done like an hour-and-a-half lecture basically. So this is where I'll kind of wind down and we'll end the stream there. But I truly appreciate all of your submissions. Thank you for once again proving to me not only the complexity that music can bring, but also the simplicity. And thank you for providing me with even more reasons to add to my list of a gazillion reasons why music is awesome, and how, like, all the different things we can do with it. I really appreciate your presence here and your suggestions, your input, your perspectives are really nice. Feel free to engage in that discussion. If you need anything that I do explained, if I use a term that you're not familiar with, I am classically trained in music, but I have other training as well, and so I do have a knowledge of certain terminology that maybe you might not. So if I use a term that you don't know, please ask for clarity. I'm very happy to explain things in defined terms. But also, I like to keep this like new friendly, so you don't have to know a lot about music to understand what the streams are about and understand how we analyze things. Information should be accessible. So yeah, thank you, Aracheesy. I appreciate you being here. If I remember correctly, did you come in with the Slay the Princess streams? I think so. I think that's when we picked you up. Another for the car. Another short stream. Yeah, and you know what? I'm happy with them. When we play games, when we do stuff like that, like I'm a little bit, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of keep going. But with this kind of stuff, I'm like constantly on and focused on like what I'm saying, and I'm making sure that I'm giving full and complete theory analysis, which is its own thing. So yeah, you did. Okay, sick, awesome. Well, my friends, it is about that time. I think we'll end it there. If there's anything else that anyone wants to kind of put in, if you have any other music submissions, please put them in the Discord. And if you haven't joined the Discord, please do so, because it's that's where the community hangs, and we do some pretty cool stuff there. We're nearing about the end of the year. And there are going to be some changes coming to the Discord and to the community. Basically, the channel is going to undergo a little bit of renovation. I will explain everything as it happens. For now, you don't have to worry about anything. Everything's just going to stay the same. But I'm just kind of preparing you slowly, mentally, for a big change later at the end of the year, depending on how things work. I won't make any changes until my own personal off-stream tabletop game is finished. And then when that's finished, I will focus more on stream and we'll do more of that. So once that's finished, it's looking like it's going to finish this year. But if it doesn't, then you know, we'll delay that change. But basically, yeah, when that finishes, then I can kind of steamroll with the other stuff. Snowball is the word I'm looking for, not steamroll. Anyway. What a lovely stream that was. Everyone, let's say goodbye. All right, it is 29 minutes past 11 at night here in South Korea. What a lovely time for me to go to bed early. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate your presence. You are welcome, no matter where you are, or how you are, or who you are. Goodbye, Colin. And goodbye, Alpha. Goodbye, Archeesy. Goodbye, Baron. Goodbye, anyone else. If you've been lurking in chat, that's okay. Thank you for being here and making me a part of your day. If you've been watching the VOD, that's awesome. Leave a comment. Engage in the discussion. I'd love to know your thoughts and your perspectives on things. Beyond that, that'll be all from me. So thank you very much for watching the Everything GM broadcast. Make sure you drink enough water. Stay hydrated. Be kinder to yourself than you're currently being. I see you. And I will see you in the next stream. New week, new streams. Tuesday morning slot, where we do it all over again. Take care.